Okay, hold up. Now we about to look at Power World stuff. So this was the trial deck that was given out in February. Oh, this just came out like 2 weeks ago. I know we talked about the scalpers hitting everything last week, but I thought this was like out for just a little bit longer. Lamball. No, nigga, that's Wooloo. That's Wooloo, bro. Okay, 100 types, PAL cards. Okay, can we get a let's find a card list. Here we go. So we just go look at all the cards right now on the podcast. Hold up. Who is this and why is it? God damn it. I said it last week. Power World's coolest monsters are the ones that look the most original. Masanda? Guardian Champion? Guardian Captain? Who's this man? Who is this man? Who hired him? Oh yeah, this is definitely dying, and like this is going the way of Buddy Fight. I hope if the mark my words, Power World is going to go the way of Buddy Fight. And if you don't know what that means it's going to have a very short lifespan, it's gonna flop, and it's going to do really good in one Pacific Asian region, and that's where it's gonna live forever. That's just look up Future Card Buddy Fight if you don't know what I mean. Battle Spirit life cycle. Battle Spirit ran, flopped. Bandai was like, hey, we doing good with Digimon. We doing good with Dragon Ball Z. We doing good with One Piece. Let's try this again. And then it flopped again. I'm just saying. Okay, I said I was going to give this game an honest try. What is this Meganium ass? Meganium ass wannabe? Okay. Now, one thing I do like about, hold up. That's more Meganium than this guy. Okay, but something I do like is like Elder Deer Terra. Like they have these like variations based off of elements. I think that's always a cool thing. Like that reminds me more of like Dragon Quest. And your boy loves Dragon Quest. Yeah, also, Askergon. I saw this in the preview, bro. This man looks lit. Now, hold up. Let's open up Steam. Because I'm not going to say, now, Power World as a game itself, I'm not going to hate on. I hate everything surrounding Power World. I dislike everyone comparing it to Pokemon. I dislike this card game that's taking resources away from Vanguard. But if we're talking about like Power World in itself as like a franchise, it's just some of the characters, bro. I'm cool off of it. It's just, man, like, and mostly because like I want to play more like Arc style games, more of those Survivor style games. That's where Power World that's where Power World intrigues me, is the survival aspect, the build your base, recruit these guys to live in your base to do cool little like jobs for you, not the battling with these monsters type of things. And where's he? Hold up, I ain't worried about it. Nah, don't mess with me. Don't mess with me, internet. How do I get this guy? Where do I buy him? Out of stock. This better be a common. This is a trial deck card. What do you mean out of stock? Hate. So much hate coming from my heart right now, bro. I want the stupid little fucking Hans Crow wannabe. I don't know how I feel about you, dude. Like, this is what I mean by like designs that are just like a little too close to Pokemon. Because what's Purple Scraggy doing here, y'all? Better start buying boxes. That's just Houndoom and Zoroark combined. Someone showed Dakota this. He's gonna lose his mind. I am a sucker of a Cerberus, a good Cerberus creature. Oh, this is the one someone compared to Darkrai, but I was like, you can't compare every dark dream like creature to Darkrai, but he does look like Moon Knight. Oh, you could just get the hat. That's funny. I'm really going through this whole entire card list. There's the cat. Whoa, this card can't be attacked by 3 or less pals. This thing is a wall. What is this? Oh no, they gave y'all, this is about to be a staple forever. This thing can't be hit by things that are 3 or less. You gotta waste big cost to just hit the little first pal? Crazy. Oh, the chicken. That sucks. I'm putting 4 of these in, man. I'm 4 of them and a shield. Something, you just gotta give them taunt or something. I don't know if I'm just making up a card yet. What is this? Whoa, what is this? I like fire things. You can catch me most fire-based things. Hellfire Wings, Suzaku. Oh, nah, man. I'm gonna name him Charles. Hold up. I'm gonna show y'all who he reminds me of. Why are these the same guys? You can't tell me these are not the same guy. Like, they're just small guys. Also, if you guys do not know, this is King Cawthorn from Owl House. I'm not gonna act like I'm hating on this show. I love this show. I watched it with my Otis. But King Cawthorn goes under my category of favorite type of characters in media. Tiny guy, big responsibility. I'm a sucker for those guys. If you're a tiny guy and you have a big responsibility, I instantly love you as a character. I don't know why. It just reminds me of being a little guy with a lot of responsibility. I swear to God, that was the same guy. Bushy, the ethereal blade. I low-key want him. He low-key looks cool. Hey, it's a fox. I love foxes. Like, Fox Park is cool. Oh yeah, Firefox, cool. I like this one. Kitsun, this is my friend. Oh my God, just deal a bunch of damage? Crazy. That's we're not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Hey, it's a unicorn. Hey, it's a hawk. I'm looking for something to stand. This. All you had to tell me was monster creature with guns. And left it at that. Just left it at that. Fandoms want to ruin this shit. All the guns. What is this? Pump action shotgun? Makeshift handgun? Oh my God, that's hilarious. I hope this is not a staple. This is like, I hope you don't have to have this twink in your test. You don't have that twink in your test. Hope you don't have this twink in your deck. This is crazy. Hey, Church. Hey, chill it. Melees. I do not know who he is, but I want one, and we got to keep him in the backyard. Do you think your wife will let us keep one in the backyard? I need an answer ASAP. And if she does, can we have him with guns? Oh wow, I'm cool. There's a penguin. Yo, there's a fucking penguin. There's a pirate penguin. Yo, what is going on here? I'm telling you, best ones are designs that are like traditional RPG designs. This is Kyrolynx. He's an ice cat. This is Shinpao. He's an ice cat. I think if you put me in a snow situation, I would be scared at both. But definitely, this one is the one that looks like he's from Temu. This is the one that looks like he's from Temu. Like, that's a whole Shinpao, bro. A whole Shinpao. Now, if he had dragon wings, you'd be cooking. Okay, we'll wait for this to crash. Who is this cool boy? Now, this is not me making fun of Power at this point, but are you telling me these are not the same person? Look at him. He even looks like he even swirling. He even got swirl things. Even looks like he's doing some hacking. Nah, man, cool boy everywhere. You can play cool boy everywhere. A lot of the grass designs are cool. Ooh, bees. Like, yo, look at this. Look at Warsack. This OG design, hella cool. Leaf Mix, promising newbie. What is he? That's just a Digimon. Yeah, I'm just making fun of the Pal World guys. Cola vending machine? Kind of just like the fact that you could just have soda in the game. That's okay. So it's always red or purple. It's always red or purple. That's just purple Delphox. And I don't care because why does this look like a character out of Sonic the Hedgehog? Why does this look like a character out of Sonic the Hedgehog? Tombat. Who hired you? You look like you belong in Archie Sonic. Sega, come get your design. Is Power World Chinese? I feel like Power World might be Chinese. Once again, anything with like the knock, anything that has like a elemental subname, like the Pirate Knock, this is a fire design. Fire and dark. Once again, OG design. Like, this does not beat the fact that the elemental variations and the original designs are all goated. The press, he's really like me, bro. Late night hustle. The Presso, the late night hustler. He's like me for real. And he just becomes 7K at night. What a night. Time to slam some caffeine. He's really me. Okay, I gotta put this into the podcast. I gotta really listen to the podcast. I can't get mad at this. This is a little too horny for me. A little too horny. Real quick, because we're already a little bit into this. Don't listen to the podcast. This part will be part of the video part of the podcast. If you guys are listening to me, this is Marz from the Marz Variety Show. Right now, we are reviewing the first set of Power World kind of just making fun of the designs, actually praising some of the goated designs, trying to see if like my rule that I kind of like set for myself is consistent through the designs. So if you guys like what you're hearing, make sure you hit this with a follow. Make sure you hit this with a like. If you see the little ticker talks, hit me with a follow. Marz team flowers and all the good stuff. But as I'm saying, I'm not mad at like any of these designs. Oh, Daydreamer has 2 different designs. I definitely want to get some of these for like tokens. These are definitely going to be some tokens. Don't let me get a 5K power. I don't know. Vanguard cards are 50 or 5 digits. These are only 4. Ooh, Ghost Chimera. No, I think I said last week that Power World's getting a mobile game. Okay, who are these human characters? Hold up. Getting back to what I was saying. I was saying earlier that Power World is getting a mobile game that should be coming out sometime soon. So it will be kind of cool to see a lot of these characters, like comedy characters, like in the mobile form. Like Little Nox. Nox is cool. I might have an elemental type. Everything that's just not a Pokemon. Like this is something that like I feel like is Pokemon, and this is like something somebody would say is Pokemon inspired. But I would argue that this is more cryptic inspired. This is giving me Chupacabra vibes, giving me Saturday. Wait, no, what is that show? The Super Saturdays from like. This is giving me cryptid vibes. This is what I like. Big ol' hand. Good boy, good boy. The Super Saturdays? 5K. No, I was thinking about digits. Vanguard cards are, I'm over here looking at Strega, and Strega's 5 digits. Vanguard cards are 4 digits to 5 digits, which is the reason why I can use Dark Tyrannomon as a plant token, because it's green and it's 5K. Stop it. I'm not a fraud. Okay. Oh, they have cool little gold cards. Oh, gold soul cards, neutral cards, Direwolf. You can't have a game without Direwolf, honestly. Oh, more fire cards? Oh, these are electric. No. Oh, these look like that's electric. Oh, they only have 4 electric guys? That's crazy. That's spoopy. Oh, these look like these might be like alt art. No, these are ice guys. Oh, so there's water and ice. Okay. Oh, ice dart. Ethereal aqua. Oh, there's a Sonic the Hedgehog guy. And another penguin. Ooh, little ghost man. Suzuku aqua. Suzaku, that was my boy back in the fire style. And now he's an aqua type, okay? It's the goat. Look, I have my fun making fun of these old goofy idiots. I could call out when some of these are just blatant Pokemon ripoffs. But Lamball, Wooloo Deluxe, can't be attacked by 4 costs or greater pals. The True Wall, Wolfglick, LeBron James, Lamball. All goats of their crafts. Do not have to explain further. Don't have to. If you heard that and you understand, you know. If you heard that and you're confused, get some sauce. What is it? Why does it remind me of like, hold up, you telling me these are not the same guys? Are you telling me these are not the same guys? Bro, that's a whole Cutemon. Rebunny, you are Cutemon. I will get you and I will scribble out the Rebunny part and I will scribble Cutemon into this. That's a blatant ripoff. Also, shout out to Cutemon from Digimon Fusions, Cross Wars. He is a boy and boys can't cry. It cracks me up that there's a whole episode about like people thinking Cutemon's a girl and it's actually a boy. Whoa, Lamtot got an Expo card. Okay. So I guess there's some of these that are like promo cards. That's why some of the card lists. Ooh, Bushiroad really does know how to do some promo stuff. Dawn of the Pagalos. I'm not a fan of these. Hold up. These designs go hard. 2D stylized. These designs look ugly in their 3D rendered. Like, God, these things look flat in their 3D renders. I do want this as a soul. I don't know how. Okay. So today, if you guys don't know, I am Marz. I am here with the Marz Variety Show. Every week we talk about the latest in pop culture news. And we review movies and TV shows for all the good people to enjoy. And today I have a fun little short for you guys. Today is going to be simple. I'm simply going to just be talking about a couple of current events, kind of a little follow-up for last week's Spider-Man show, but also we just want to if you guys don't know, we just reviewed a lot of the Power World set one stuff, and I did my usual like cynicals kind of liked it thing. So if you guys are catching this on the Voice podcast, go check me out on YouTube. YouTube.com, the Marz Variety Show. But today, we're gonna keep it fun, we're gonna keep it simple. I have a couple of news stories I want to go over, a couple of like articles, conversations with some of the Spider-Man brand new day cast. And then I want to talk about animated Spider-Man shows because TV Line dropped an article and I kind of like making fun of their articles. On that note, let's start talking. Let's start yapping. Ned's Hobgoblin MCU future after Spider-Man Brand New Day gets an intriguing update from Jacob Batalon. So you guys don't know, Jacob Batalon is the guy who plays Ned Leeds in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Spider-Man fans, if you guys know, if you're comic book fans, Ned Leeds is also the name of the Hobgoblin, the second goblin-based villain in Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery. And even though Ned Leeds, since the beginning of this franchise, has been the man in the chair for Peter, there's been conversations about Hobgoblin trying to make his MCU debut. Now, Jacob he was just interviewed a couple of days ago, and he starts talking about how he would want this to work. So I do want to kind of reference what he wants to say, but also kind of want to talk about how I think it could work and how a movie coming very, very soon might be a chance for us to see this coming soon. So long story short, Brand New Day came out last year. CEO of An Excellent Good Old Time, Jacob Batalon was doing his press run. There's a conversation about him becoming Hobgoblin. I'm going to start with a quote from himself. I think like if you were just saying a lot of it felt rushed, but still felt well by both of them. I would say there's nothing really throughout the first three movies or in this movie that signifies the type of term that Ned going to Hobgoblin. This is him talking about Ned going to Hobgoblin. It would have to be a gradual change for sure. There would have to be a real life-changing event for him to want to change who he is because he's really just a nice, loving, caring person. It'd be really hard for him to just turn on a heel like that. It'd be an interesting storyline to pursue, and to watch him turn into that, it would take a lot. I would say perhaps a lot of brainwashing by a third party. So, Jason was kind of grilled on that a little bit. And I was already talking a little bit before about what the potential villain for the next Spider-Man movie could be. How it could be an adaptation of both the Clone Saga and an adaptation of the Black Suit Saga. But Ned becoming Hobgoblin, I feel like could happen sooner than you think. So what was I saying? So I will go two routes with this. If you wanted our in-universe canon Hobgoblin to become a thing, I think you kind of have a little bit of a through line right now with the third MCU Spider-Man movie kind of harping on that Ned has some type of magical powers, some type of connection to magic, and that tidbit being kind of hinted back at the end of the fourth movie. You could say that Ned's Hobgoblin transformation could be a magical one at that. I don't think Spider-Man has a lot of magical villains. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think... an idea. So I was thinking oh man, maybe Ned will get kidnapped by the Jackal, who's a very big cloning villain in Spider-Man. He likes to kidnap Peter's friends and families and clone them to mess with him. And then I was talking about how maybe because we are going into the multiverse in the next couple of films between Doomsday and Secret Wars, maybe we came across a version of Ned Leeds that had an ability to fly like a goblin, and that was a version of Hobgoblin that we got. But there is a Spider-Man villain that has been used in the last couple years that could be a reason why Ned gets transformed into the Hobgoblin so suddenly. And it doesn't need to be a pure sudden thing. You could have something rooted in Ned, because Peter was gone for so long, because the spell may have messed with Ned's head a little bit, that he has a little bit of animosity towards Peter for leaving him for so long. But if you were to bring in, hear me out on this. If you were to bring in Mr. Negative into MCU Spider-Man canon. What's Mr. name? Ooh, I'm trying to think. Why can I not think of Mr. Negative's name? What's his alter ego? It's something Martin Lee. I want to say it's something Lee. So if you were to bring in Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, since he has the abilities to swap people's alignments on a dime with just touching them, that could be a way for you to give Ned an arc to become the Hobgoblin. Maybe you make it a way that Mr. Negative wants to mess with Peter's life. I've been toying around with the idea that Feast, something that's very important in like Spider-Man's PS4 canon, maybe Mr. Negative is tied to Feast. And Mr. Negative is also the reason why Uncle Ben is dead. But maybe for messing with Peter or trying to get at Peter, Mr. Negative starts slowly changing the people in Peter's life to flip on him. And that would be a very easy way of just making Ned the Hobgoblin like that. Mr. Negative flips his alignment. That makes Ned's magic powers start to erupt. And then bam, you have the Hobgoblin for a minor villain for a movie. I think that might work. And I was thinking about that one for a minute. Like, man. And we're talking about a third party, brainwashing like a third party, like he says. That would be the perfect way of doing that. Okay. Let's talk about something that I've reported on. I kind of want to give up some clarifying information about it. So let's talk about the new live action Zelda movie that's not live action. Well, yeah, it is live action. But the new Zelda project that's coming out next year. Deadline reported new cast members for the Legend of Zelda film that's coming out next year in August. The film's next year in April. It's coming out 1 week earlier than planned. We already know who the stars are. Bo Bragson and Benjamin Evan Arson will be starring as Zelda and Link respectively. But we do have a adamant cast of Ulu Latukfe for Ganondorf. Promise I will learn that name by the time of the series comes out. The Delchin Lockman as Impa and Yvonne Stravolka as a queen character. Maybe that's a clue of what story we might be covering. But there was a couple things that I've reported on that I kind of wanted to correct it. So one, this is not going to be on Netflix. This will be a movie. This will be a theatrical release. There will be, I think I've also discussed that the writers of Detective Pikachu will be on this, but they were only in talks to writing it. I'm actually kind of speculating what this movie might be, because a Legend of Zelda movie could be very easy. You could just do an original story. No type of adaptation, no type of let's do a video game. You could do a strict original story, place it in an ambiguous Hyrule, and just have all three of the characters reincarnate, go through their destiny, have Link do a hype, and call it a day. But I really hope one of two games are the inspirations of this movie. If you really want a blanket slate, please make this more of an adaptation of the original Legend of Zelda game. You know, just nice, plain open field, a Link that has to get to the princess, and defeat a pigman Ganon. But because we know that the fact that this is going to be Ganondorf, which means it's going to be the human version, which doesn't really mean much when it comes to these adaptations because they change things all the time. I wouldn't be mad if this was a Breath of the Wild adaptation. Breath of the Wild is probably the most popular version of Legend of Zelda from the last couple years. Yes, I know Tears of the Kingdoms came out. Yes, I know Echo of Wisdoms came out. But I feel like Breath of the Wild is the one that like everyone's played. So just adapting that wouldn't be too bad. And that way you can just like travel to a bunch of the different parts of the game, do a couple of the puzzles for like cool little montages. Because it seems like it's gonna be more of like a slower paced movie. Maybe you could show big, spalding, like decayed castles like they are in Breath of the Wild, all spread out throughout Hyrule. There's just a lot you could do with this franchise. Those are my two picks. But let's see, next year in April, we will be seeing this movie. And I definitely think this will be me going into the theater on this one. Okay, let's start yapping about something new. Something new. Now, I'm thinking right now, X-Men 97 is about to be done. Rick and Morty is about to be over. What's gonna close out the summer when it comes to TV shows? So I kind of want to talk about how we're gonna be covering Lanterns on the podcast, maybe every other week, just like we do other shows. But also, I wanted to give a shout out and kind of like a shout out to Straw Hat Goofy, because Straw Hat Goofy will be hosting the Lanterns official podcast at the end of every episode of Lanterns. So super shout out to Straw Hat Goofy, Juju. I think they call him by like his actual like government name in here, which is Juju Green. But it'd be nice that he'll be hosting the podcast. I'll probably be tuning in every once in a while. He's a good personality. I'm very, like, as much as I'm a podcast host, listening to podcasts, you gotta be a good personality. You have to be a good energy. And I think Juju brings a good energy. So I'll be looking forward to that. But on top of that, Lanterns will be coming out very, very soon. Shout out to Straw Hat Goofy for hosting the podcast. But I kind of do want to talk about some things that I am expecting from this first season of Lanterns. Now, a little bit of backstories. I love the Green Lantern. That CGI TV show back in 2014, I was watching that every Saturday morning. Grown man, by the way, when I was in college. I really liked Razor's story in that. I got really into comic story, and shout out to comic historians retelling the Blackest Night into the War of Light was really what got me into DC comic books. I really love Rest in Peace Benny. But with that said, after looking at the trailers of Lantern Season 1, it seems like we might be adapting a little bit of the Parallax arc. I don't want to spoil too much, but you go see the trailer, you see our boy Hal. He's talking a little bit with Sinestro in the trailer. He's talking about how Jon Stewart over here might be his replacement, not just his backup. But when you hear that Sinestro talk over it, it kind of gets me feeling like Sinestro is not really there, that maybe he's in Hal Jordan's mind. And when fear is in Hal Jordan's mind, that usually means another entity is in Hal Jordan's mind. So maybe we'll see a form of parallax, either form of parallax in this show. There's a mention of Manhunters in the trailer too. Manhunters, which were the original keeper of order for the Guardians. They also got a really big mention in the 2014 Green Lanterns animated show. So maybe we might be getting a small nod to the Anti-Monitor. I know for that show, the Anti-Monitor was kind of added to it, but maybe that would be a way for them to add on to the Anti-Monitor to, the DCEU, a way for us to start integrating early multiverse stuff without it being shoehorned like Marvel did. And then also, there's a mystery role by a mystery player in this show. And I'm expecting hard spoilers, I'm expecting Hector Hammond, aka the Black Lantern, to pop up in this show. I feel like when you're playing around with the Green Lanterns, there's not a lot of pre-New 52 storylines you really have to do, other than Parallax, everyone's origin stories. A lot of that you can kind of skip over and just get to the Blackest Night. And even though the Blackest Night needs a lot of DC setup, a lot of dead heroes coming back, honestly, you really don't for the core message of that story. It'd be nice to have dead DC heroes coming back, but I wouldn't be too surprised if Hector Hammond pops up. Hector Hammond. Why do I feel like I just got my Green Lanterns? Yeah, because Hector Hammond is the guy with the big head. I just got not Hector Hammond. Who's the other guy? Black Hand. Who's Black Hand? Live mistake. Hector Hammond is the guy who looks super deformed. William Hand. I'm expecting William Hand to appear. Why is Hector Hammond? Maybe Hector Hammond maybe that stupid Green Lantern movie was on my mind. But William Hand, I'm expecting William Hand to make an appearance in this show. There's a mystery role in Lanterns, and they do talk about the Blackest Night, so it'll be cool enough. And I definitely think we might be talking about prophecy. That's what I need. I need that prophecy to go down. So, shout outs. Okay. Now, to be real with y'all, I kind of want to yap a little bit about. So, there is a prophecy in the space cosmos that all of the entities of the emotional spectrum will all come alive and bring destruction to the universe. It would start with the rise of dead creatures all throughout the universe. And then through these dark creatures, the entities would be revived. This was a prophecy told on Noah. It was what the freaking goddamn little blue guys were afraid of. They were afraid of all of the entities to be revived from the dead and wreak havoc throughout the country or throughout the cosmos. Hold up, I'm misspelling things, but so these jerks. So pretty much the Guardians were afraid of these guys coming back to life and wreaking havoc across the cosmos. These are the embodiment of the emotional spectrum. That green guy is, I don't know all of their names. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know some of their names, not all of their names. The green one is where the Green Lanterns get their superpowers from. He is the entity of willpower. The yellow guy is my main man, Parallax, the entity of fear. He's a giant jerk. He's possessed Hal Jordan, Sinestro, Cyborg Superman. He's scared of Batman. Parallax is scared of Batman, fun fact. The red guy is the Butcher. He controls the Red Lantern. The blue one is Hope. I should know the Hope one. Saint Walker likes him. One of them is really mean. The pink one is the one that controls love. It's the Star Sapphires girl. The purple one's a jerk. It just possesses people and just makes them feel compassion. The Indigo Drive are a bunch of jerks. Should we? Okay. Should I ditch my whole entire Spider-Man thing? And should we go over the emotional spectrum? Because I know they've changed so it's called now the emotional they changed the name recently. The emotional electromagnetic spectrum. The emotional spectrum. And basically every core has an entity. So like I said, red is the Butcher, Atrocitus, this guy, Atrocitus. Yeah, Spider-Man's hot, but we're also be getting lanterns very, very soon. So there, give me my Atrocitus. Okay, let me turn off my. Okay, red is Rage. That's Atrocitus. I'm pretty sure you guys have saw Homeboy from Atrocitus from. Can we just whitelist you? Can we whitelist you? There we go. So, if you ever played Injustice, you may have seen Atrocitus. He's very mean. He's very angry. He really likes his pet cat. He's also the villain from the 2014 series, or a good part of it. I like this guy. He's a really jerk. And then you have Orange. Now, the entity of Orange, that is not how you pronounce that. I want to call it Ophidan. This guy controls greed. That's why Hector Hammond's name came to my mind, because Hector Hammond has kind of like been in control of it before. He's born from the white light of creation. He's just greedy. He's done things with like Lex Luthor before, but he's really associated with Agent Orange, aka, where is he at? He's more associated with Larfleeze. Agent Orange. Like, I don't know what happened to Larfleeze in the comics, y'all, but I remember he had a Christmas special where he had to learn how to share his gifts from Santa. Man, bring back Larfleeze in the comic. He was just like, he's so greedy. Larfleeze is so greedy. He embodies the orange light so much that he has killed all the other lanterns of the orange core, and they all serve as his constructs so he can have the orange battery to himself. He is such a jerk. I love him. I don't know what happened to him lately. It looks like you haven't seen him since the War of the Green Lanterns. Crazy. I think he should be the emotional deity, the emotional entity at this point. If they ever rebooted the entities, like Larfleeze should 100% become like the new entity of like greed. And this is my cat. We're broke and we're poor. So please donate to the podcast so I can feed Nugget. She has no treats right now. No treats. I gotta go buy her treats. So donate to the podcast so Nugget can have treats. Is that right, Nugget? Yeah, she's like, I'm done. I knew I was gonna freestyle today's podcast, but I didn't know we were going to be talking about the emotional entities. Okay, so we went over the butcher, we went over Alphadyne Greed. Let's go for love. Let's go love next. So it's crazy that the love one, it's crazy that the love one is called the Predator. The Predator, that's crazy. Love with nothing to temper it. That's what makes it dangerous. I don't really remember the Predator in like any story. Like I never read any stories with the Predator, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know. I didn't even know the Predator had a male form. I'm not even gonna sit here and French y'all. I just remember seeing it when they were trying to hunt it down. And it's not this one. When they were trying to hunt it in Jeff Johns series. Oh, I didn't even know it did something like this. We gonna have to read some freaking Green Lantern Space Odyssey stuff. That's what I like about Green Lantern. I like the fact that it feels like a space opera. It feels like I'm watching a space opera. I feel like we're not gonna get that from the show because you kind of have to ground it in a little bit of Earthness. But someone said we might not even be on Earth for long in that show. So okay, let me talk about the big three. Let's talk about the big three. I didn't even know they were doing a Star Wars collab. Hold up. I know Star Wars got a new TV show. It's happening. Oh God, we're gonna have to figure this out later. Oh God, hold up. Let's finish my history lesson. Let's finish our history lesson. Let's do the big three. Let's do the big three. Well, I guess big five. Okay, so I'm gonna say this about Star Wars. I will always say this about Star Wars since we're talking about space operas. And this is a hill that I will 100% die on. The worst aspects of Star Wars are the movies. That's how I'm gonna say it. There has never been a Star Wars movie that has been over a 7.5 out of 10. I can say that with confidence. There's not a single one of the Star Wars, there's not a single Star Wars movie that's over an 8 out of 10. Just crucify me if must. All of the best aspects, all of the best storytelling in Star Wars is in the TV shows. Thank you. Chat knows ball. Empire Strikes Back is literally the best Star Wars movie ever. It is like literally an 8 out of 10. There's nothing that's better than that. Right under there, New Hope. Right under there, Return of the Jedi. For me personally, right under there, Revenge of the Sith. Right under there, Phantom Menace. We don't talk. I don't know where I place my Disney movies in there at all. But if you're like me and if you're a Star Wars nerd, all the best parts of Star Wars are like the TV shows. Clone Wars is amazing. Rebels has its charm. Even what's the one with not Ahsoka, the one with the lesbian witches. Like every Star Wars, I think every Star Wars TV show is almost a hitter. Like there's barely a flop. Even the ones that people want to call a flop are nowhere near a flop. That's my opinion. Okay. You know what? Okay. So let's go over the entities. Let's get over these last of these entities real quick. Adara is the entity of hope. I believe a lot of these entities did get new lore when Kyle Rayner became the White Lantern. Kyle Rayner is the third Green Lantern. Because I know a lot of them got human hosts. She's the Hope Girl. Our main girl is Ion. Ion is the entity of will. Now, once again, not super big on this one. My biggest knowledge of Eon is the fact that I know is that the center, it's like living inside the center power battery that lives on Oa. I didn't know I had a symbiotic relationship with Kyle Rayner like that. I think when we get to Kyle Rayner as a Lantern, it's going to be a very interesting thing. Like, I feel like the movies are going to make Kyle Rayner, or the DC animated or not DC animated universe, the DC movie universe is never going to make Kyle Rayner 100% a Green Lantern. I think he's going to get the green ring by an accident, and he's going to be destined to always be the White Lantern. Man, Kyle Rayner from the DCAU when he was a rookie. Got animated his rookie year. It'd be interesting. I always like his little goofy mask. Oh, that's not my Kyle. Rogue One is not a Star Wars movie. Rogue War is a war movie that just takes place in the Star Wars universe. Okay, so let's talk about the entities that probably have story context. Parallax is the fear entity. It is the living embodiment of fear inside of the whole known universe. Before all of this new 52 mess, Parallax was the entity that lived inside the Green Lantern battery. And it was the reason why Green Lanterns did not have the ability to affect things that were yellow. So the Green Lanterns used to draw their abilities from Parallax. Or not draw from Parallax. It used to fuel the battery, but ever since they cracked open and made Hal Jordan get white cool things on his side of his hair, it's always been known as the fear entity. Even Kyle became a little evil every once in a while. Evil Kyle. Sinestro had it when I saw Sinestro have it. I think Sinestro looks pretty cool with it. You'll take me up. You'll throw something at me. I'm gonna get knocked out. But I do stand by Rogue One being legitimately like a war movie that just takes place. I'm not getting into Umbra. I really would like a Green Lantern movie where Necron is the villain. Please give us let this be Lantern Season 3. Let Necron be the villain for Lantern Season 3. It would be so cool. Such a cool looking design. I love scythes. His Black Lantern battery is in his scythe. He's super cool looking, man. I remember when Hal Jordan became the Black Lantern. I didn't know that he was in original stuff. I just thought he existed. This is my Necron. When he was trying to take out all of the heroes who were dead in the Blackest Night, he was going for Batman. He was going for Barry Allen. Man, this is my Necron. Oh, he hasn't shown up much since then. That's crazy. We all love a guy with the skull on his face. But I would want this to eventually get adapted into the live action Lantern show. And then with Necron, you always got to do the life entity. You got to do entity itself, life entity, which is just a big old white baby with wings. This is I think this is an updated version. Kind of cool that they updated it to be a little angel. I think before it was something crazy cool. But yeah, Power of the White Lantern. All the universe comes from this thing still developing. It even has a little reference to the Life Turtle from it lore. We love it. So yeah, okay. So that is it. I hope you guys like our impromptu history lesson of the DC entities. On that note, let's start talking about Pokemon Champions, you guys. Oh, for you guys on the podcast, thank you very much for coming out to the podcast. Thanks for coming just yip yapping with us. Sometimes it's just going to be a yip yap. So I appreciate you guys. This is Marz from the Marz Variety Show. We are going to play some Pokemon Champions now on the podcast. So if you're hearing this on the playback, please come check out the podcast. We're live every Wednesday at no later than